The day I was born. Mom didn't rush to name me. Instead, she asked me, a baby dragon who hadn't even opened my eyes, to call out my real name. 'Cause I'm not a human. I'm a black dragon. And according to our clan's rules, baby dragons must awaken their inherited memories and call out their real name to be recognized. Just as a flood of images poured into my mind, I blurted out a string of syllables without thinking. Mom nodded in relief when she heard it. That was when I realized I'd transmigrated and become a dragon. I finally wiggled my way out of the eggshell. A system notification suddenly blared in my head. Congratulations to the host for hatching successfully. Newbie task completed. Would you like to draw a lottery now? Sure enough, transmigration comes with a standard system. I chose confirm without hesitation. The next second, the mechanical voice announced I'd won. The skill feast. It can turn any food into HP and permanently increase your body size. This skill from League of Legends is so dope. There's no cap on body size growth. Maybe I can swallow mountains and chew up oceans later and become the strongest being in this world. While I was busy daydreaming happily, my stomach suddenly started growling. I wiggled my nose. With the sharp sense of smell of a newborn dragon, I locked onto the empty eggshell next to me. I hesitated for a second, then opened my mouth and bit it anyway. The crispy eggshell crunched between my teeth. I ate it all up in just a few bites. Ding! Successfully devoured dragon eggshell. Body size increased by 0.06 meters. Please complete your first hunting mission as a dragon. Reward: Paula's 1 lottery draw chance. Mission triggered. But it didn't say what the target is. Does hunting the mosquitoes everywhere count? I flapped my wings excitedly trying to fly, but was interrupted by Mom's laughter. Silly kid, you were just born. There's no way you can fly yet. When you're a little older, I'll teach you myself. I refused to give up and tried a few more times. I only stopped when I was so tired I collapsed in the grass nest. Besides, the dragon aura Mom exuded scared all animals within 5 miles away. Even mosquitoes didn't dare come near. Where was I supposed to find prey? Just then, a soft crack came from the eggshell behind me. Mom and I turned our heads at the same time. We saw cracks spreading across a pitch-black eggshell. First, a few reddish scales poked out. Then a wet little dragon head popped out. It stared at the world with confused eyes. Soft light appeared in Mom's eyes. Tell me, baby, what's your real name? But the little dragon just tilted its head and stared at her, and didn't make a sound for ages. Mom's face darkened immediately. She swung her front paw all of a sudden. In the blink of an eye, flesh and blood flew everywhere. I watched helplessly as that little dragon that hadn't even opened its eyes got smacked into a pulp. This is Lena's first litter, and she gave birth to a dragon beast with no inherited memories. What a huge humiliation. She shook the blood off her paw, her tone eerily calm. I stared at this scene, my whole body stiff. The joy I felt just now after hatching was completely washed away by cold sweat. My cute little brother or sister. I didn't even get to say a word to them before they were smacked to death by their own mother. This was also Dragon Mom's first time being a mother, and before she had kids, she knew perfectly well most of her offspring would be dragon beasts. That's why she specifically found a strong red dragon to be the father of her kids. Too bad. It still didn't fix the inheritance flaw of the dragon clan. Even so, though, having 1 real dragon out of 3 kids is enough for her to show off to other dragon moms. Crack, crack, crack! The 3rd egg started moving at this point. Dragon Mom stared at the last egg. I looked over too, and silently prayed for it in my heart. The eggshell cracked open. A pure black little dragon head popped out. Tell me, baby, what's your real name? Dragon Mom stared at the little dragon closely. The little dragon was stunned by Dragon Mom's fierce gaze. After a short while, it finally spoke. My name is Yulina. After hearing it call out its real name, Dragon Mom finally smiled proudly. Ha 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 ha. I, Lena, for my first time giving birth, got 2 real dragons out of 3 kids. Her proud voice echoed across the entire mountain. My little sister Yulina, just like me, struggled her way out of the eggshell too, then ate the entire eggshell clean. Dragon eggs seem to be super nutritious. All newborn dragons love them. Hi, my name is Simon. I'm your older brother. I walked up and greeted her first. Yuliana blinked her eyes. Hi, I'm Yuliana. Suddenly, she spotted a piece of rotten meat next to her. What's that? He's also your older brother. Yuliana was totally confused. Why is this piece of rotten meat my older brother? The tiny, underdeveloped hatchling couldn't figure this out at all, though he had gained consciousness through the bloodline. But at the end of the day, he was still a baby dragon with underdeveloped intelligence. It's totally normal that he couldn't work this out. Just then, I walked up to the rotten meat, even though my little brother was already smashed to pulp. But if I eat him, the feast skill should give me a pretty good boost, right? I hesitated for a long while. I ended up giving up on the idea. My soul is still human after all. I can't bring myself to devour my own little brother. Plus, I just ate a dragon egg not long ago. My stomach's still full. So I had zero interest in devouring him at all. Then I started digging a hole in the nearby swamp. When my little sister saw this, she came over curiously. "What are you doing, brother?" The dead should be respected above all else. "I'm letting my poor little brother rest in peace underground." I froze right after I said that. Dragons don't seem to have this custom, right? After my little sister heard that, she lifted her little claw and scratched her head confusedly. I didn't bother explaining. I soon dug a big hole. Then I put my little brother in the hole and started covering him up. Of course, Mama Dragon Lena saw all of this, but she was still basking in the joy of having given birth to real dragon babies, so she didn't pay much attention to my weird behavior. After I finished all this, I had nothing to do, so I decided to try flying again. I spread my dragon wings and jumped as high as I could. The result was obvious. I face-planted straight into the dirt. My little sister asked me curiously again, "What are you doing?" These actions of mine weren't in her inherited memories at all, so she was really confused by what I was doing. Isn't it obvious? I'm learning how to fly, duh, but if you don't use magic to strengthen your wings, how are you ever going to be able to fly? My face went stiff for a second. That's when it hit me. Young dragons are small in size, so they can fly with just physical strength. But once they grow up and get bigger, trying to lift your whole body with just your wings is obviously impossible. But then another problem popped up. I only inherited some basic knowledge, not the method to strengthen my wings. I scratched my head awkwardly. "Huh, you caught me. I'm actually working out my body." "Oh, so brother wants to get strong first and store up more magic power. You're so smart, brother." My little sister looked at me with full admiration. Caught up in my motivated energy, she started working out with me too. Mama Dragon was super relieved seeing this. She yawned, and before she knew it, she fell asleep. A few hours later, I actually managed to learn how to fly, but the downside was I used up a ton of energy. After working out for so long, the energy from the eggshell was already totally digested. With the soul of a 20-something adult human, I had to shamelessly ask for food. "Mama Dragon, I'm hungry." When I turned around to look, I found Mama Dragon fast asleep with her eyes shut tight. I immediately had a bad feeling. Dragons have super long lifespans. Their naps usually last at least a few days, if not a few decades. By the time Mama Dragon wakes up, my little sister and I would have starved to death ages ago. This mom is way too irresponsible. She should have at least left some food for her kids before sleeping, right? Just then, my little sister who'd been working out with me was also hungry. After I realized how serious the problem was, my face turned serious. "Juliana, we have to wake Mama Dragon up. Otherwise, as baby dragons only a few hours old, we can't catch any prey at all." "Right, but how are we supposed to wake our mother up?" My little sister tried yelling as loud as she could, but it didn't work at all. Looks like normal methods won't work to wake Mama Dragon up. I mumbled to myself, "What do we do now? Being hungry sucks so bad." My little sister was rushing around anxiously. I gritted my teeth. Looks like there's only one last option left. "What is it?" "Tell me quick, brother." Juliana urged me. Simon lifted his head and stared at the enormous Mama Dragon. Couldn't help swallowing hard. To wake her up, regular methods won't work. We can only try attacking Mother Dragon. Hearing this idea, Yulina was stunned for a second. Are we really going to attack Mom? What if she gets mad when she wakes up? Yulina hesitated. Simon, on the other hand, the second he pictured Anna mad, couldn't stop shaking. Yulina was fine, though. She's never seen Mother Dragon angry. Simon definitely has. He saw Mother Dragon fly into a rage and slap her cute little brother to death with one paw. But expecting a hatchling only a few hours old to hunt is no easy task. Looks like we still have to wake Mother Dragon. If nothing goes wrong, Mother Dragon will sleep for at least a few days straight.
Do you think we can last that long?
Simon asked back. Yulina fell silent. Obviously, without Mother Dragon Anna bringing food, the two little hatchlings can't get any food at all. By the time Anna wakes up, all she'll find are two dead bodies. No matter what, let's just try it first. Even if Mother Dragon gets really mad, we can just act cute to fix it, right? No matter how mad Mother Dragon is, She won't kill us, will she? The reason drakes have beast in their name is that those who don't inherit the dragon bloodline are no different from regular beasts to Mother Dragon. Some kind giant dragons will raise drakes for a while, then kick them out of their territory, leaving them to fend for themselves. For evil black dragons, not killing these drakes outright is already merciful enough. Mother Dragon Anna is obviously not a merciful black dragon, but compared to drakes, true dragons get much better treatment. Even evil black dragons will raise their own cubs until the kids can protect themselves before driving them out of the territory. No time to waste. The two hatchlings started attacking their own mother dragon, putting on quite the show of loving mother and filial kids. But half an hour passed. Mother Dragon Anna still didn't react at all. With no sign of waking up, the two hatchlings lay on the ground, huffing and puffing. What do we do, brother? My claws are almost broken, and I didn't even knock off one of Mom's scales. Yulina whimpered. Quit yapping, let me think. Simon waved his hand irritably. He and Yulina had been attacking together for half an hour. Couldn't even break through Mom's defense. You really can't beat giant dragons. Even the weaker black dragons among them are this powerful. Simon studied the sleeping mother dragon carefully, trying to find her weak spot. Suddenly, Simon's eyes lit up. I got it. What is it? Brother, you have a plan. Simon nodded. Yulina, come with me. Simon led Yulina and circled around Mother Dragon Anna once, stopping at Anna's tail. See that spot? Attack that spot. Mother Dragon will definitely wake up. Simon squinted and said with a grin, looking where Simon was pointing. Yulina looked confused. Isn't that where she poops? Will attacking that spot actually work? Of course it will. Look at Mother Dragon. Her whole body is covered in hard scales. With our current strength, even if we keep attacking for a whole day and night, we won't knock off a single scale. This spot has no scales. So it's obviously Mother Dragon's weak point. If you attack here, Mother Dragon will wake up. Why do I have to attack? Aren't you gonna attack? Simon patted Yulina on the shoulder. I'm completely out of strength. The important task of waking Mother Dragon is all on you. Fine, Yulina nodded. Attacking my own mom's private spot. It's kinda exciting if you think about it. Yulina took a deep breath, then launched a sudden attack. Roar, just like Simon expected. Mother Dragon Anna let out a roar. The sound was deafening. The swamp water rippled from the sound waves. Yulina, what are you doing? She turned around and picked Yulina up with her claw. The tiny hatchling looked like a toy in Anna's hand. If Anna gets even slightly upset, she can crush Yulina to death right away, just like their poor second brother. Yulina hunched her neck in fear. Brother told me to do it. She immediately shifted all blame to Simon. Simon's heart skipped a beat. Next thing he knew, he was met with Mother Dragon's ferocious face. Simon, what do you think you're doing? Anna roared and snarled loudly, with fire blazing in her eyes. She was so furious that her expression turned gruesome and terrifying. Simon thought of his dead little brother. To protect himself, he had to bite the bullet and yell back. I'm hungry. If you just sleep and ignore us, we will starve to death. Anna froze for a second after hearing that. This is her first time being a dragon mom. Thinking back to her childhood, it was such a distant memory. She remembered before she learned to hunt, her own mother always provided food for her. I really didn't do well on this. I'll go get food for you right now. Mother Dragon Anna took the initiative to admit her mistake, and was very frank about it. She put Yulina down from her grasp. Anna flapped her wings hard, and soared into the sky. Her huge dragon shadow quickly disappeared over the horizon. Whew, looks like Dragon Mom is pretty reasonable. Simon let out a long sigh of relief. Hee, brother. You are so smart. Following your method, we actually managed to wake Mom up. Yulina walked over to him, grinning silly. Soon, Mother Dragon Anna flew back, and brought back a huge piece of prey with her. It was a bison, but its whole body was corroded by some substance, and became all rotten. The only reason we could tell it was a bison was its 70% recognizable head. Eat up, Mother Dragon, Anna said gently. Yulina pounced on it without hesitation, and started gobbling it down loudly. Simon looked at the unrecognizable bison, his eyes twitching like crazy. Black dragons are creatures that can spew corrosive acid. They also prefer rotten meat when eating, just like vultures. But Simon has a human soul. He really has no interest in corroded rotten food. But then gurgle. His stomach growled with hunger. Hope it doesn't taste too bad, Simon mumbled to himself. and bit off a piece of meat from the rotten bison. As he chewed, the rotting smell spread in his mouth. The black dragon's taste buds picked up a weird flavor. Physiologically, the taste was actually pretty good. But for Simon, it still felt really weird inside. Devoured a small piece of beef. Body size increased by 0.01 meters. A prompt popped up on time as he swallowed. Simon's eyes lit up immediately. He no longer cared about his mental resistance and started chowing down hungrily. The two baby dragons had huge appetites. An entire bison was gone in just half an hour, completely eaten up, with nothing but a pile of bones left. Devoured half a bison. Body size increased by 0.5 meters. Brother, why do you look bigger? After finishing the bison and filling their bellies. Yulina looked at Simon with a confused look. Mother dragon Anna took a closer look and found her oldest son did seem a tiny bit bigger. Anna didn't think much of it. She simply thought her oldest son grew faster. But Yulina found this very strange. He was the same size as her just now. But after eating the bison, Simon immediately got a whole size bigger. We ate and drank our fill. Got enough nutrition. Of course I grew up. What's so weird about that? Simon brushed it off casually. The second day after hatching, maybe because he was still a baby dragon, Simon was very sleepy all the time. He slept until noon when the sun was shining bright. Then Simon slowly opened his eyes. He stretched lazily after getting up. Hee, brother. You big lazy dragon. I woke up super early, seeing that Simon was awake. His little sister Yulina hopped like an excited little pony, bouncing up and down in front of him. Morning, Yulina. Simon was still half asleep, and let out a big yawn. Morning, Simon. Yulina replied to him very politely. He paused for a moment, then spoke again. Oh, right. Mom said she'll teach us to hunt today. That's pretty nice. Simon thought of the hunting quest from the system. Mom! Brother's awake. Hurry up and take us hunting. Okay, my sweet Yulina, the dragon mother Anna said softly. Anna stood up, grabbed the two kids and flew towards the distant sky. As a fully grown black dragon, Anna flies super fast. Carrying two kids doesn't slow her down at all. Soon the three dragons arrived at a forest. Anna held back her aura. All right, you two can get down now. Whoever catches prey first gets a gold coin as a reward. Anna opened her palm like she was doing a magic trick. On her palm lay a shiny round gold coin. This is a special trick Anna learned from humans a long time ago. Giving proper rewards can motivate kids to work harder, even though losing a gold coin made Anna feel really bad. But as a mother, it's her first time taking her kids hunting. Copying human teaching methods is a great idea. Sure enough, when the dragon mother, Anna took out the gold coin. Both baby dragons' eyes went wide, drawn in by the glittering gold coin. Gold coin! Oh my god! It's actually a gold coin. Mom, you're the best, Yulina yelled excitedly. I lived 20 years in my past life, and I never even touched gold before. Simon swallowed hard. As a broke college student, Simon had never touched gold either. He didn't know if it was because of his past life poverty or the greedy nature of dragons. Simon really wanted that gold coin bad. With a whoosh, he dashed out and dove straight into the thick bushes. Cheater, that's not fair, Yulina shouted, and ran right after him. Dragon Mother Anna was a bit worried. She cast a spell to turn herself invisible, then followed them quietly. She held back all her aura, so she didn't have to worry about her strong power, scaring all the prey away. Running fast through the woods, Simon looked around everywhere, looking for prey. Last night, I snuck outside, killed a bunch of mosquitoes and bugs, but the system didn't say I completed the quest. I need to catch a bigger creature this time, like rabbits or cats, that kind of thing. They're not dangerous, and I can win Mom's hunting contest too. Simon mumbled to himself in his head, talking quietly to himself. The grass rustled. Simon had a bright idea. He immediately dropped to the ground, just like a tiger getting ready to pounce. Suddenly, a baby deer stuck its head out. Simon was over the moon, but right as he was about to pounce, ready to use his sharp teeth to bite the deer's neck off, a yell came from behind him. Brother, where are you? I can't find you. The deer got spooked and immediately ran off to the side. Simon was furious. He turned around to look and saw Yulina with a mischievous look on her face. Simon, like I'd ever let you catch prey first, Yulina thought to herself. But she didn't show it, putting on a scared look instead, brother. I'm so scared. Don't leave me behind. Simon raised an eyebrow. Stop following me. Go the other way. Unless you don't want the gold coin. Fine, Yulina replied obediently, and turned to leave. Simon started looking for prey again. This time he found a rabbit eating grass. But right as he was about to pounce, Yulina's voice came again. Brother, you're here too. What a coincidence. The noise scared the rabbit. It ran away super fast. 2 failed hunts in a row because of interruptions. Simon was shaking with anger. He glared at Yulina fiercely. Get lost. Yulina looked super wronged and turned to leave. Third time, Simon set his eyes on a rat. Maybe it ate too well. This rat was huge, but the result was still the same. It was scared off by Yulina. Go to hell. Once, twice, and now a third time. Even if Simon were an idiot, he'd know something's off. After Yuliana scared off his prey for the third time, Simon immediately struck back. He leaped forward. He sent Yuliana flying with a classic Leo kick. You keep scaring off my prey one after another. Do you really think I can't see what you're up to? Go to hell, you little pest. Simon was furious. He kicked Yuliana hard and sent her flying. Yuliana rolled like a rubber ball, several times on the ground before stopping. Anna, the dragon mother secretly watching the 2 young dragons, saw this scene and could not help frowning deeply. Even though she was an evil dragon, she did not want to see her 2 kids killing each other. Right now, Simon was nearly 3 meters long, much bigger than Yuliana. With neither of them having mastered magic yet, Yuliana was no match for Simon at all. Luckily, Simon had no intention of killing her. After kicking Yuliana away, he moved on to look for prey again. After getting kicked by Simon, Yuliana was in sharp pain. She didn't dare to bother him anymore. She had to go look for prey on her own. Simon actually held back his strength very well. The spot he kicked was not vital. It only made Yuliana feel pain, without causing any real injury, so that his hunt wouldn't be affected. Simon wandered slowly through the forest. He patiently looked for prey. He crouched low, folded his wings, moved with light steps, making not a single sound. Hard work always pays off. Simon found suitable prey once again, but this time the prey was a bit dangerous. It was a gray wolf. This gray wolf seemed very old. It walked unsteadily, its fur all gray and white. Its tail hung low, its movements were stiff, and its eyes were dull and lifeless. Even though the wolf looked old and half dead, Simon still didn't rush to attack. The gray wolf was about the same size as Simon. That's pretty large for a gray wolf. It might even have been a pack leader before. Needless to say, its combat experience was definitely extremely rich. If Simon attacked recklessly, the wolf would probably use its rich combat experience to counterattack immediately. This old gray wolf knew it was old and didn't have much stamina left. It was no match for a young and strong opponent. So once it made a move, it would go all out, fighting to the death. Simon suppressed his aura, slowed down his breathing, crawled silently behind the gray wolf. The wolf had no idea he was there. The wolf also seemed to be out looking for prey. It had set its sights on a fawn, the exact same one Simon had run into earlier. The wolf knew its stamina was poor, so it didn't rush to attack either. The fawn had recovered from its earlier fright. It scanned its surroundings warily, but neither the gray wolf nor Simon made the slightest sound. The fawn's wariness gradually faded. It lowered its head to eat grass. Right at this moment, the wolf struck suddenly. It howled and leaped forward, like a hungry tiger pouncing on its food. It bit down hard on the fawn's neck. Maybe it was too weak. This bite failed to snap the fawn's neck, so its whole body just hung onto the fawn. It used its own weight to pin the fawn down firmly. Simon knew his chance had come. He attacked immediately. He spread and flapped the wings on his back, while pushing off hard with his legs. He shot forward like a cannonball. Simon's target was simple. It was the gray wolf. He might only be a young dragon, but he was surprisingly strong. This sudden burst of movement startled both the wolf and the fawn. The cunning wolf noticed it right away. As an old wolf that had lived for many years, it knew full well the old saying, "He who runs away lives to fight another day." After realizing what was happening, the wolf reacted immediately. It loosened its grip and used all its remaining strength to push the fawn towards Simon. Humph, this cheap trick won't work on me, Simon snorted inwardly. At the same time, he flapped his wings with all his strength. Simon rose high into the air at once, dodging the incoming fawn, and continued charging towards the wolf. The wolf never expected that. It never expected a baby dragon would come after it. The gray wolf was able to instantly use the fawn as a shield. It used up all its strength shoving the fawn forward. It tried to run, but Simon was way too fast. The second the gray wolf turned around, Simon was already lunging at it. He threw his full weight on top of the wolf, pinning it to the ground, feeling the wolf squirming beneath him. Simon didn't hesitate at all, opened his huge jaws and bit down on the wolf's neck. Unlike this old gray wolf, Simon was young and super strong. His sharp teeth bit straight through the wolf's neck in one go. The wolf died instantly. Congratulations, you have successfully completed the hunting quest. Plus one free draw added to your account. The system notified him immediately. System, start the draw now. Simon used his draw right away. Draw in progress. Congratulations, you have won. The skill, Dragon's Roar of Fire. Skill description, spit out extremely powerful flames. Burn everything in its path. Source, fairy tale. This is an offensive skill that lets you breathe fire. This is way stronger than a black dragon's acid breath. Simon was super happy with this. Name, Simon. Level, Tier 1. Size, 2.6 minutes. Skill, Feast. Dragon's Roar of Fire. Whimper the fawn had 2 rows of bite holes on its neck. Blood was oozing out non-stop. It looked super gross and scary. It could feel death coming for it. The fawn was terrified out of its wits. It ran as fast as it could forward. Let's test this skill on you. Simon took a huge deep breath. His lungs puffed up. Then he opened his massive jaws wide. Roaring flames burst out of his mouth. The flames completely engulfed the fawn. In just a few seconds, the fawn collapsed to the ground. This power is actually pretty great. Simon walked over to check on the fawn. He saw all its fur was burned off. Its face was completely unrecognizable from the fire. Now that I can breathe fire, it looks like I don't have to eat the rotten meat Mom gives me anymore. Rotten meat does taste good to black dragons, sure, but I like cooked food way better, Simon mumbled to himself in his head. Then he grabbed the fawn's leg in one claw and bit down on the wolf's tail with his mouth. This was his first ever hunt. Both the wolf and the fawn were super meaningful to him. So Simon decided to take them back home and enjoy the food he hunted himself. He carried both prey with him and headed back to the jungle they started in. His dragon mom Anna and his sister Yulina hadn't come back yet. Simon wasn't in a hurry. He just waited patiently. A few hours passed. Just when Simon was starting to get annoyed, Mom and his little sister finally showed up. The huge dragon mom Anna came first. Her giant body pushed trees aside and crushed grass under her claws, but she didn't seem to be in a good mood. Next was his little sister, who looked super excited. Yulina's eyes were crinkled in a smile. She seemed to be in a really great mood. She had a dead rabbit clamped in her mouth. Big brother Simon. I caught prey. Mom's gold coin is mine, Yulina said to Simon in a teasing, challenging tone. From the way she held her chin up high, she was obviously super proud of herself. Simon scoffed. Take a look at what's behind me. Heh, take a good look at what's behind me, Simon sneered. The mockery on his face was obvious. He stepped to the side, so they could see clearly. Yulina looked up and immediately spotted the dead wolf and fawn. Her face froze. No way. How did you catch 2 prey animals? Yulina couldn't help but gasp. Her mouth hung wide open. The rabbit she was holding in her mouth fell to the ground without her noticing. Anna looked over in the same direction and also saw the 2 prey Simon had caught. Her brow twitched. She couldn't believe Simon had caught the wolf and fawn. Faced with Yulina's shocked question, Simon immediately shot back. Why wouldn't I be able to? Look at the burn marks on the fawn. I already know how to use my breath attack. Simon lifted his chin proudly. He knew he couldn't hide his dragon's roar of fire skill. For very long, he needed it for both hunting and cooking food. After all, so he just decided to show it off openly. Besides, Mom had said before that when she had her eggs this time, she picked a red dragon as the father. He could just use that as an excuse for being able to breathe fire. Just place it on the red dragon bloodline, that's all. Red dragons breathe fire. Black dragons spit acid. As a mix of the two, their offspring has the appearance of a black dragon and breathes fire like a red dragon. This kind of breath attack makes total sense. No way. You were barely born any earlier than me. How come you already mastered earth element abilities? Yulina obviously didn't buy it at all. But did her disbelief matter at all? The fact was right in front of her eyes. No one could possibly know Simon had a system. So the reason Simon, a black dragon, could breathe fire could only be attributed to his red dragon bloodline. There's nothing impossible about that. I develop way faster than you. How can you even compare with me? Simon said arrogantly. Just judging by body size, Simon was already much bigger than Yulina, so mastering the breath attack ahead of time didn't seem like that impossible of a thing. "Show me a breath attack right now." "Their dragon mother, Anna?" said to Simon, looking eager to see it. Simon nodded. "Sure thing, Dragon Mom." He took a deep breath. Simon's lungs swelled up at a visible speed. He lifted his head towards the sky and spat out a raging stream of fire. The temperature of the surrounding air seemed to rise a lot. Dragon Mother Anna and little sister Yulina were dumbfounded. They were too shocked to say a word for a moment. No one had expected. A hatchling only born the day before would have already learned how to use breath attacks. "Why is your earth element ability fire?" Yulina asked the key question. The knowledge inherited from her bloodline never told her that black dragons could breathe fire. Simon looked at Yulina with a weird expression and spoke slowly. "Haven't you noticed it yet?" "Noticed what?" Yulina asked back in confusion. "Duh, we're not pure-blood black dragons. We look way different from ordinary black dragons. Normal black dragons are skin and bones. But the two of us are super strong and buff. Our wings are also way larger than regular black dragons. When we were training yesterday, I didn't use any magic power at all. I only relied on the power of flapping my wings. And that was enough to let me fly for a short time. Pure-blood black dragons can't do that at all." Simon's words left Yulina speechless for a while. "Are you saying that..." A bold idea popped up in Yulina's mind. Simon nodded. "Yep, exactly what you're thinking. We're half red dragon, half black dragon. We have the appearance of black dragons, so we can breathe freely underwater. And we also have the strong physique of red dragons. Even if we only rely on brute strength to flap our wings, we can still fly. When we grow up later, this hybrid body of ours will even be immune to tons of different magic. Being a black dragon and red dragon hybrid brings a lot of perks. Just like Simon said, black dragons are a dragon species that can move freely and breathe underwater, while red dragons are a dragon species that can soar freely in the sky. As a mix of the two, Simon and Yulina are both good at swimming and will master flying really soon. But the dragon clan values bloodlines very highly. Hybrid dragons like them will very likely be discriminated against by other dragons." "Mom, is this true?" Yulina looked up at Anna in disbelief. Anna nodded slightly and admitted it on the spot. Anna once heard from an old dragon that many newly hatched dragonlings would turn into idiots because their physique wasn't strong enough to handle the information stored in their bloodline. A perfectly fine true dragon would turn into a mindless dragon beast because of that. To make sure that when she had her first children, the birth rate of true dragons was high. Anna specifically looked for a red dragon to mate with. "No way! Simon and I are actually half-breeds!" Yulina looked completely stunned. A dark line popped up on Simon's forehead. Hey, insult yourself all you want, but don't drag me into it. I'm super satisfied with this hybrid body of mine. If anyone dares to discriminate against me later, I'll beat the crap out of them." Simon waved his claw as he spoke. Anna watched Simon silently. With Simon's current growth speed, his future is absolutely boundless. He will definitely make a name for himself in the dragon clan. Simon held out his right paw to Anna. "Dragon Mom, I caught the prey first. And I even caught 2 prey. You should keep your promise. And reward me with a gold coin, right?" Simon had been craving this for ages. Now that the hunting competition was over, he immediately asked Dragon Mother Anna for his reward. "Sure." Anna held out her palm, handed the gold coin to Simon. As she handed over the coin, Anna looked visibly pained, even though she had made the promise herself. But when it was time to fulfill the promise, she still couldn't help feeling reluctant. As a greedy black dragon, asking her to give away gold coins voluntarily, even if the other person is her own child, is worse than killing her. "Hey, hand it over." Seeing Anna hesitating and taking forever to make a move, Simon took the initiative, jumped up and grabbed the coin from her hand. Looking at the shiny golden coin in his hand, Simon was over the moon. He held the coin carefully with his claw and examined it closely. "So this is what a gold coin looks like." Simon flipped it around nonstop. "Brother Simon, can I take a look?" Yurina had been reeling from the shock that she was a hybrid dragon and finally came to her senses. She reluctantly accepted the fact. After all, there was no way to change it. After seeing Simon receive a gold coin as a reward from Anna, Yurina couldn't help leaning over to him. "Of course you can." Simon stopped playing with the coin and held it out in front of Yurina. Yurina stared at the coin in Simon's palm, her eyes full of obvious desire. Before she could get a second look, Simon immediately pulled it back. All right, you've had your look. No extra looks allowed. Little sister Urina. Urina was totally speechless. After admiring it for quite a while, Simon's excitement finally died down. He put the gold coin away properly, then carried his 2 prey items and followed their dragon mother back to the den. Devoured burnt venison. Body size increased by 0.01 meters. Devoured undercooked venison. Body size increased by 0.02 meters. Devoured entire wolf meat. Body size increased by 0.05 meters. Ugh, barbecuing meat is so hard. Simon was about to lose his mind. After the hunting contest ended, Dragon Mother Anna took her 2 kids and the prey they caught back to their den. It was already pretty late, plus they had used up a lot of energy hunting. So right after they got back to the den, Simon tried to cook some food. There's no way he wanted to eat anymore. Food corroded by Mother Dragon's acid spit. But what he didn't expect was Simon was terrible at controlling the heat. He gathered a pile of firewood and used the skill Fire Dragon Roar to cook. But the skill was way too powerful. The fire it spat out was super hot. Simon's barbecue either got totally burnt or was completely raw inside. Even though he's a black dragon, raw meat isn't exactly inedible for him. But this failure made him super frustrated. That's so weird. You actually want to eat cooked meat. Is that because of your red dragon bloodline? Anna stared curiously at Simon, who was barbecuing. Urina sat obediently off to the side, totally different from her usual hyper self, quiet and well-behaved. Her mouth was hanging open, and she drooled every now and then. Even though Simon's barbecue skills were terrible, Urina still wanted it so bad. Because during the noon hunt, Urina only caught a single rabbit, so she was starving right now. Plus the constant smell of Simon's barbecue was almost more than Urina could stand. If she wasn't no match for Simon, she would have pounced and stolen the food long ago. Finally, Urina couldn't take it anymore, and coquettishly begged Simon for some food. Brother Simon. My dearest brother, can you give me a little bit of your barbecue? I don't need much. Just a wolf leg will do. Hearing this, Simon immediately rolled his eyes and refused without even thinking. If you want food, go catch your own. You know how to hunt anyway. I caught all this myself. Since his body size had grown, Simon had a huge appetite. The deer was too small, plus a whole gray wolf was just enough to fill him up. So, Simon had no intention of sharing his food with Urina. Urina stared at the meat roasting, over the fire nonstop, and swallowed the saliva in her mouth. I don't care anymore. Your barbecue smells so good. You have to give me a piece. Urina was showing the greedy and selfish traits of an evil dragon. She pounced violently at Simon. Too bad. Yulina is just a hatchling barely 2 days old. There's no way she's a match for Simon right now. Simon already finished eating the whole deer, and had eaten half of the gray wolf as well. His body length has already reached 3 meters. That's a full meter longer than Yulina. Watching Yulina charge at him, Simon swatted at her with one paw and sent her flying right away. Simon didn't hold back at all this time. He used his full strength for this hit. Yulina's entire face swelled up from the blow. That just shows how hard Simon hit her. Simon walked over to her and looked down at Yulina from above. His expression was vicious and totally menacing. With that little skill of yours, you still have the nerve to go after my food. Wait until you actually learn magic. Then you can try to fight me. Simon warned her. Yulina was clearly not convinced at all. She launched another attack, only to get beaten back by Simon again. Now Yulina realized the gap between the two of them. Until she learns powerful magic, there's no way Yulina can beat Simon, seeing that Simon wouldn't share his food. Starving Yulina had no choice but to turn around and leave, to head for the nearby forest to hunt. Simon ignored Yulina completely, and kept grilling his meat on his own. Damn it, I looked away for just 1 second. And it's burnt again. Simon cursed under his breath, and quickly flipped the grilled meat over. With the experience of grilling a whole deer and half a gray wolf under his belt, Simon realized, when you eat burnt meat, the body size boost is less than what raw meat gives. But even perfectly grilled meat won't give a bigger boost than the feast skill already provides. From this we can see, eating raw meat is the most cost-effective option, but Simon didn't want to eat raw meat at all. So he still chose to grill his meat. Consumed burnt wolf meat. Body size plus 0.02 meters. Consumed undercooked wolf meat. Body size plus 0.05 meters. Consumed well-done wolf meat. Body size plus 0.05 meters. Soon, Simon ate the remaining half of the wolf meat. Name, Simon, rank, tier 1, body length 3.3 meters. Skill, feast. Skill, Fire Dragon Roar. Simon opened the system interface to check his own stat bar and was very satisfied with his current stats. For growth, he has the Feast skill, which can constantly increase his body size. For attack, Fire Dragon Roar is also extremely powerful. Oh my god, Simon. You got bigger again. Yelena, who just came back from hunting, cried out in shock. She was dragging a white sheep behind her and kept looking Simon up and down. Simon was only born a few minutes earlier than Yelena, but when it comes to body size, the difference between the two is already obvious. Baby dragons actually don't grow that slowly, but it's only been one day. Even if Yelena tries to grow as fast as possible, her body length still hasn't exceeded 2 meters yet. Simon didn't answer. His weird behavior had already caught the attention of Yelena and Anna, but neither of the two female dragons could explain it. They could only assume that Simon inherited a special power from his bloodline. Full and satisfied, Simon spread his wings. He is now over 3 meters long. He doesn't know if it's because of his red dragon bloodline, or maybe because of the Feast skill. Simon is different from ordinary black dragons. He has extremely large wings. His wingspan is almost 10 meters when fully spread. Black dragons have slim bodies and skull-like faces. That's why they are also called skeleton dragons. Also, when black dragons fly, they mostly rely on a combination of wings and magic, so their wings are not that big. But Simon has red dragon blood, plus the Feast skill boost. His body is strong and burly. Even though he is very young, Simon with red dragon blood has wide wings now, and well-developed wing muscles. Even without the help of flight magic, he still has enough strong power to support his huge dragon body to fly. Besides, Simon's cheeks are not as gaunt as ordinary black dragons, which are called skull faces. Simon has well-proportioned facial features. If you call him a black dragon, he is more like a red dragon with black scales. The dragon horns on his head are slowly growing out. His nearly 10-meter wingspan when spread makes Simon look extremely majestic and powerful. Just in terms of appearance, Simon looks, it's like a mini version of Deathwing, looking super menacing. This time I ate a whole deer and a gray wolf, and only grew 0.711 meters taller. But last time I ate just half a bison, and already grew a whole 0.5 meters. It looks like the growth granted by the feast depends heavily on how strong the prey is, Simon mumbled to himself. He decided that on his next hunt, he'd go after stronger prey. Animals like tigers and lions might help me grow a lot more. Brother Simon, Yelena said in a fake high-pitched voice, sounding super pretentious. Simon shivered all over, creeped out completely. Just say whatever you want. Stop talking like that. Simon stepped back 2 paces. He'd planned to work out, but had to put that off for now. I'll split this sheep with you. Half for you. Can I play with your gold coin for a bit? Yelena asked tentatively, dragging the sheep she'd hunted. As a dragon, the love for treasure is in their blood. Even baby dragons are no exception. But right now, these baby dragons have no way to get treasure. The only way is to get rewards from their dragon mother, Anna, and everyone knows how greedy dragons are for money. Anna had taken out a gold coin earlier, as a prize for the hunting contest. Even that already hurt her pockets badly. She probably won't do that ever again. Yelena wants a gold coin. If nothing unexpected happens, she can only wait until she grows up, and is kicked out of the territory by her mother, Anna, to steal one from other intelligent creatures herself. Sure. Simon hesitated for a second, then nodded and agreed right away. He is really fond of gold coins, but not as greedily as full-grown dragons. At the end of the day, Simon still has a human soul, so he can control his desires. Lending his sister a gold coin for a while gets him half a sheep for free. That's a total steal way too good to pass up. Simon turned around and dug up the gold coin he'd buried in the ground and handed it to Yelena. Yelena took the gold coin and stuck to her promise, splitting half the sheep and giving it to Simon. Simon wasn't really hungry, so he just set the sheep aside for now. You can play with the coin for half a day. Give it back to me when I come back from hunting tonight, Simon warned. Yelena answered casually. She twisted the gold coin around in her hand while starting to eat again. Simon ignored her and started training on his own. Push-ups, running, all kinds of fitness training. Simon kept up with all of them. And of course, the most important part, flying. As his body got bigger, Simon also got much stronger. He spread his pair of dragon wings. Strong gusts of wind blew when he flapped them hard. With every flap of his wings, the wind got stronger and stronger, and Simon's body slowly lifted off the ground. Yulina, who was still playing with the coin, stopped what she was doing and stared at Simon in shock. Simon can fly now. Yulina remembered that Simon couldn't fly yesterday. He could only glide for a short distance at most. She didn't expect that just one day later. Simon had already learned how to fly. What an insanely good talent. Even their dragon mother Anna frowned, staring closely at Simon. Simon's growth rate is way too fast, which made Anna feel vaguely uneasy. Black dragons have no moral code to speak of. They don't care about family bonds. Killing one's own mother happens every now and then among dragons. That's why most dragon mothers will kick their children out of the territory once they reach a certain level of growth. Once they're kicked out, it basically means they're cutting ties completely. The next time they meet, if there's no conflict of interest, they might even chat casually like old friends. But if their interests clash, even if they're biological mother and child, the two dragons won't hesitate to fight each other to the death. Right now, Anna senses a sense of crisis. From her eldest son, Simon, black dragons are all greedy and completely selfish. What if Simon sets his eyes on her treasure one day? Anna can easily take him down right now. But with Simon's absurdly fast growth rate, in just a few more days, he'll start mastering magic, even though Simon didn't get any magic inheritance from his bloodline. Anna has no idea about that. She heard other dragon mothers raise their kids for a few months. Wait until they're big enough before kicking them out. But Anna knows if she lets Simon grow peacefully for a few months, by then forget about magic. He'll already be way bigger than her just in size. Anna panicked a little. The way she looked at Simon unconsciously carried a hint of wariness. When Simon gets a little older, I'll kick him out. Keeping him around is way too dangerous. Remember when Urine attacked me yesterday? He was the one who instigated her. Simon is a rebellious kid. We definitely can't keep him long. Anna made up her mind. Was flapping his wings. Simon, who was practicing flying mid-air, had no idea at all that his own mother had decided to kick him out. Simon had just learned to fly, so his movements still looked a bit awkward. But that didn't matter. Once he gets the hang of it, Simon's flying posture will become very smooth. Counting the time. It should be around 5 p.m. now, right? Simon glanced at the setting sun. Dragon Mom, I'm going hunting in the eastern forest. If the sun sets and I haven't come back, remember to save me. Simon was flying midair. As he called out to his mother Anna, who would have thought, "You little guy care so much about your life." Anna snickered. The wariness in her eyes faded quickly. Replacing it was a mother's affection for her true dragon cub. Before cutting ties and kicking him out of the territory, the dragon mom obviously still cared a lot about her child. Go on, remember to come back early. Got it, dragon mom. Simon nodded slightly. Then he flapped his wings hard and flew toward the eastern forest. His flying speed was very slow, but as Simon gradually got used to the feeling of flying, his speed picked up. Anna's territory was quite far. Plus, Simon wasn't very familiar with flying yet, so it took him a full half-hour to reach the forest. The trees in the forest are too dense. Can't see anything at all. I better fly down. With that, Simon landed in the forest. Simon was already over 3 meters in size. His wingspan was nearly 10 meters when fully spread. To ordinary wild beasts this size was already considered very ferocious. So the moment Simon landed, some weak wild beasts nearby immediately ran away. Simon glanced at the panicking small beast running away. He was not in a hurry. This time coming to the forest, Simon's goal wasn't just simple hunting. He wanted to challenge ferocious wild beasts, like tigers, lions, cheetahs, and bears. These beasts are extremely ferocious. Simon wanted to see if eating this feast of ferocious prey would make his body grow more. He started walking through the forest, looking for traces of these ferocious beasts, but he found no clues at all. All of a sudden, a light bulb went off in Simon's head. A bold idea popped up in his mind. I'm a powerful dragon, a mighty predator. Why should I stupidly look for prey myself? I can just lure them out directly. Ferocious beasts have a sharp sense of smell. I can kill other wild beasts, then let the blood out to lure the ferocious beasts here. I just need to hide in the dark and find the right opponent. Besides, even if I can't win the fight, I can just flap my wings and fly to the sky and run away directly. In the forest, a sheep was panicking and running forward desperately, as if there was a devil chasing it from behind. There was no devil, but there was an evil dragon. You run, I chase. You can't escape even with wings. Simon flapped his wings and pounced over, pinning the sheep to the ground. Then Simon bit down without hesitation. His huge bite force easily snapped the sheep's neck. The sheep was killed. Simon didn't stop there. He gutted the sheep. Blood mixed with the sheep's internal organs spilled all over the ground. The smell of blood started spreading around. Seeing this, Simon quickly looked around for a hiding place. After thinking for a second, he flew to the top of the tree. Luckily, Simon isn't too heavy right now. If he grows a little more, his weight alone will be enough to crush the big tree. Simon waited quietly on the tree for his target. As long as no one looks up, they will never find him. After the sheep died, the smell of blood spread very fast. Not long after, a fox walked over. The fox was obviously very wary. When it saw the sheep's corpse, it didn't recklessly pounce on it immediately. The cunning fox kept observing the surroundings, making sure there was no powerful and threatening creatures around. The fox dragged the sheep and tried to leave. "You took my stuff away. How am I supposed to lure strong enough prey here?" Simon raised an eyebrow and got ready to either kill the fox or scare it off. Just as he was about to make a move, rustling sounds came from the bushes. 3 jackals walked out. They were eyeing the fox greedily. They quickly made an attack plan right after showing up. The 3 jackals spread out, forming a triangular encirclement. Looks like these 3 jackal brothers are really close and work perfectly together. But the fox didn't seem to be fighting the 3 jackal brothers for the first time. When the 3 jackal brothers finished forming the encirclement, the fox immediately plopped down on the ground. The fox already knew all about the jackal's anal biting trick. Every time the jackals tried to step forward and attack, the fox would yell and scare them off. Plus, the fox was sitting on the ground. Even if the 3 jackal brothers wanted to use the anal biting trick, they had no way to pull it off. The fox was super smart. It knew with the 3 jackal brothers around, there was no way it could take the sheep. This free lunch with it. Plus, the smell of blood was still spreading. More and more wild beasts would show up soon. The fox turned around and bit off a lamb leg, then rushed out of the 3 jackal brothers' encirclement and ran away quickly. Simon, who was hiding at the top of the tree, watched this scene and was secretly shocked. What a smart fox! After the fox ran away, the 3 jackal brothers didn't chase after it. They started eating the sheep right where they were, but the good times didn't last long. They hadn't been eating for long. A dark shadow darted out. A jackal let out a sad whimper and was sent flying by the dark shadow. It fell to the ground and didn't move at all. It instantly killed 1 jackal. The dark shadow moved again. It was super fast and super strong. Before the remaining 2 jackals could react, the dark shadow swatted at them again and instantly killed one of the jackals. Then it twisted its body, and its tail whipped the last remaining jackal. The last jackal was sent flying by the tail and crashed into a tree, but luckily it didn't die right away. Whimpering, the jackal looked at the dark shadow in fear, then turned and ran away as fast as it could. It didn't even dare to avenge its dead brothers. Simon on the tree took a closer look. The dark shadow was a fierce tiger, except this tiger was completely black all over. The patterns on its fur were light golden in color. What breed of tiger is this? Simon wondered in his heart and couldn't help licking his lips greedily. Such a powerful tiger. If I eat it, I wonder how much bigger I can get. Simon took a deep breath and suppressed the desire in his heart. There's no rush to make a move. The fox, the 3 jackal brothers, plus this black golden tiger, only make 5 wild beasts in total. The smell of blood won't fade away that fast. Plenty of carnivorous beasts will still be lured here, but with the black golden tiger around, most beasts only take a look from far away and don't dare to come close. But in this forest, there's obviously more strong beings than just the black golden tiger. Roar! A brown bear walked out and let out a deafening roar. The brown bear was huge. Standing on 2 legs, it looked to be over 2 meters tall and looked very imposing. A strong enemy was coming. The black golden tiger stopped eating, thick blood dripping down its chin, having its meal interrupted. The black golden tiger was very annoyed, and a look of anger appeared on its face. Roar! The black golden tiger turned around and roared. The tiger's roar echoed through the forest. The brown bear didn't back down and roared back in response. The 2 sides quickly started fighting. The brown bear stepped forward, waved its huge paw and swatted down. But the black golden tiger was extremely fast and very agile, moving like a fluttering butterfly, and easily dodged the bear's paw. Then it bit the brown bear's stomach hard. With a ripping sound, the brown bear's skin was torn open. A big chunk of flesh and blood was violently torn off by the black golden tiger. Luckily, the brown bear had thick skin and flesh, so it didn't fall down from this, but it was definitely in a lot of pain. It whimpered in pain. The brown bear pressed its whole body down, trying to use its weight advantage to crush the black golden tiger to death directly. But the black gold tiger saw this coming a mile away. A sneer flashed in its eyes. It jumped backward to dodge the attack. They're totally not on the same power level. What species is this black tiger even? Simon was confused, but also raring to give it a shot. He knew what was coming next. The black gold tiger would go for the brown bear's life. That would be the perfect window for him to strike. The black gold tiger stepped on the brown bear's head. It had an almost human mocking look on its face, like it was laughing at the bear for biting off more than it could chew. The brown bear struggled like crazy, but the black gold tiger wouldn't let it get away. It smacked the bear hard right on the head. The brown bear let out a muffled groan and went still immediately. Now's the time. Simon knew this was the perfect time to make his move. The black gold tiger just took down a tough foe like the brown bear. All the weaker beasts around would be intimidated by it, so it would let its guard down right now. All he had to do was sneak attack it, land a fatal blow, and he could take this powerful opponent down easily. With that thought in mind, Simon darted out. He jumped down from the top of the tree. He never does things halfway. When he acts, he goes all out. Simon used his full power right off the bat. While he was falling through the air, he opened his mouth wide and sucked in a huge breath of air. His lungs inflated rapidly as a result. If you looked into Simon's mouth, you could see glowing hot fire building up in his throat. Dragon's roar. Roaring flames burst out of his mouth. The fire rained down from the sky and engulfed the whole body of the black gold tiger. The black gold tiger didn't see this coming either. There was another enemy hiding up in the tree. It was caught off guard and couldn't dodge in time. The scorching flames burned the black gold tiger badly. The flames kept burning its body. But once Simon finished spitting out that burst of fire, the black gold tiger didn't fall down at all. It was seriously injured. Its whole body was scorched by the flames, but the black gold tiger still stood its ground, staring daggers at Simon. No way, it survived that. Simon was absolutely stunned. He slowed down the flapping of his wings and landed on the grass below. The black gold tiger was staring at him furiously. Its eyes were blazing with rage. It wanted to tear Simon apart and eat him alive. Simon had been waiting on the sidelines this whole time, hoping to reap the benefits without fighting. He wanted to take out both the brown bear and the black gold tiger. He didn't expect that his full power breath attack didn't kill the black gold tiger in one hit. That's insanely strong. Roar! The black gold tiger let out a furious roar. Its roar echoed through the whole forest. The pale gold stripes on its body started to change. They started flowing like liquid. Whoosh, the black gold tiger vanished on the spot. Simon was stunned for a second. The next second, he caught a dark shadow appear next to him from his peripheral vision. Before he could even react, the shadow was already right next to Simon. It swatted at him with its paw. A sharp pain hit Simon. Simon was sent flying and rolling away. A bunch of his scales fell off. That was so fast. I didn't have time to react at all. Simon was shocked. He turned his head to look. The spot where the black gold tiger hit him, all the scales there had been knocked off, and the skin underneath was swollen and red. Its strength is insane too. I'm still young, sure. My scales aren't as hard as an adult dragon's, but my defense is still pretty high. It knocked off my scales with a single slap. When this black tiger was fighting the brown bear earlier, it didn't use its full power at all. It's probably not a normal wild animal. I bet it's what they call a magical beast. Look at its stripes flowing like water. It must have activated some sort of skill or power. That gives it a huge speed boost. Otherwise, I would have been able to react. Simon's mind was racing. Tons of thoughts ran through his head. He quickly figured out why the tiger's speed spiked. Even magical beasts have different power tiers too. The system says my current power is tier 1. I wonder what tier this black tiger is. Simon's fighting spirit flared up. If I can't beat it, I can just run away anyway. No matter how fast it is, it can't fly. So Simon decided to go all out. Fight it head on. Test out how strong I really am. With that thought, Simon turned to the black gold tiger and yelled, "Come on!" The black gold tiger was seething with rage. It let out another furious roar. The black gold tiger vanished from its spot again. Simon was now fully focused on the fight. He quickly scanned his surroundings, but a dark shadow dropped down from the sky and slammed hard onto Simon's back, driving him straight into the ground. Turns out the black gold tiger didn't attack right away earlier. It used its super fast speed to climb up a tree first, then launched the attack from up there. Simon spat out a mouthful of blood. Dragon hatchlings are super weak creatures. Hatchlings living alone have a really low survival rate. That's why dragons have the tradition of raising their young. Even the chromatic dragons that don't care about family bonds. But Simon is an exception. The feast skill doesn't just increase body size. Its more important effect is raising max HP. Simon may lose to this black gold tiger monster in strength, speed, defense, and many other aspects, but when it comes to health points, Simon has nothing to fear. I can outlast this bastard for sure. Get off me! Simon let out a roar, pushed up on all fours and threw the black gold tiger off his back. Before the black gold tiger could get steady on its feet, Simon lunged right at it. Now it's my turn. Simon swung his dragon claw. While the black gold tiger was still getting up, he swiped hard at it. The black gold tiger dodged just in time, but Simon's sharp claws still scratched its face badly. Several bloody gashes were left on its cheeks. Blood flowed out, dyeing its black face bright scarlet. This short exchange made the black gold tiger realize how strong Simon was. It didn't dare to lower its guard. The light gold stripes on its body glowed, and its speed skyrocketed. It turned into a shadow and vanished on the spot. Simon's alarm bells went off instantly. The black gold tiger appeared by his side and swiped at the spot where Simon was injured earlier. Simon's muscles bulged all over his body and took the hit head on. Without scales for protection, the sharp tiger claw tore a big chunk of flesh off Simon's body, but Simon just curled the corner of his mouth upward. Got you. Simon traded an injury for a chance to grab his opponent. He ignored his own injury completely and grabbed the black gold tiger tightly, pinning it down under him. The black gold tiger struggled like crazy. Simon used both claws to pry the black gold tiger's mouth open. He opened his own mouth wide, and a ball of raging fire blasted straight down its throat. As a monster, the black gold tiger has really thick skin, but its internal organs are still as fragile as ever. The black gold tiger struggled twice more, then finally stopped moving. Whew. That was such an intense and satisfying fight. I won in the end after all. Simon was extremely excited. Winning this fight filled Simon with a great sense of achievement. He couldn't help but laugh out loud. No wild beast around dared to come close. The strong smell of blood and the pain from his wounds kept stimulating Simon nonstop, which made his eyes turn bloodshot, looking like an evil ghost from hell. Such a powerful monster. I hope you don't let me down. As Simon spoke, he lowered his head to bite and devour the black gold tiger's head. Body size increased by 0.1 meters after eating a piece of bloody raw tiger meat. The system sent a notification. Listening to the system's prompt, Simon's eyes lit up. Eating half a bison earlier only added 0.5 meters. I've only eaten one piece of black gold tiger meat, and it's already increased by 0.1 meters. Great, you really didn't let me down. Once I eat this entire black gold tiger, my body size will probably go up by a whole meter. 20 minutes ago, the 4 members of the Donut Adventure Squad were walking through the forest. One of them, a fat guy wearing leather armor and holding a large metal shield, spoke complainingly. Is there really a dragon in this crappy place? Among the 6 people, a petite woman snorted coldly. Do you think I'd lie to my own teammates? I spent a ton of money to get this intel. Earlier at noon today, someone saw a black dragon land in this forest. Maybe the black dragon's lair is right here. This team has 4 members, 2 men and 2 women respectively. The fat guy holding the large metal shield is obviously the team's tank, and the woman who just spoke has a bow and arrows on her back. She works as the archer and the commander of the adventure squad. But what's the point? Even if we find the black dragon's lair, the 4 of us are just small fries. We probably aren't even enough for the dragon to snack on. The mage on the team, a woman, shrugged and said helplessly. The other male warrior chuckled. You never know. The fat guy is so big, that's enough to feed the dragon for quite a while. If we really get caught, Fatty, you definitely have to sacrifice yourself for us, okay? Fatty rolled his eyes when he heard that. The 4 of them have worked together for years. Fatty knew the other guy was just messing around, so he didn't get mad at all. The female archer said, Are you guys stupid? Who the hell wants to fight a black dragon? We just need to find the black dragon's lair, then sell that intel to other people, and we'll make a ton of cash off it. If we get lucky, we might even pick up a dragon egg. If we raise a baby dragon later, our donut squad will skyrocket to fame instantly. As the archer spoke, her eyes were filled with longing for the future. The Donut Adventure Squad was the adventurer team she founded all on her own. She started out all by herself, and now the team is finally taking shape. We've got a tank, a warrior, a mage, and an archer. The four of us can already handle all tasks a full team needs to complete. Captain, you're being way too optimistic here. Forget about whether we can even find the Black Dragon's lair first. Stealing a dragon egg alone? Come on. Let's just be realistic here. After all, regular people never see a dragon their whole lives. Fatty, holding a metal shield, was cut off mid-sentence and changed his attitude right away. The male warrior slung his arm directly around Fatty's neck, grinned and said, "You're such a positive guy, man. Even if we can't steal a dragon egg and can't find the Black Dragon's lair, it's no big deal. As long as we see the legendary giant dragon once, that's enough for me to go back to my hometown and brag about it to those little brats for my whole life." The female archer looked super annoyed when she heard that. Are you kidding me? I spent 3 silver coins to get this first-hand intel from someone. Okay, if we just go back after seeing the dragon once, I'll lose a ton of money for sure. Roar! Roar! Before the female archer could finish talking, they heard from the forest an angry roar of a beast coming from far away. That's a tiger's roar. It's the roar of a black gold tiger. I'll never forget that sound for as long as I live. The mage's heart skipped a beat as some bad memories resurfaced. Back when she was still an apprentice mage, she ran into a black gold tiger out in the wild. It's a tier 2 magical beast, super powerful, and it can move extremely fast. Even among tier 2 magical beasts, it's at the very top of the food chain. The black gold tiger's speed is even faster than most tier 3 magical beasts. It's insanely powerful. The female mage only got lucky back then and barely escaped the black gold tiger's claws alive. Out in the wild, if a weak adventurer team runs into a black gold tiger, they'll probably get wiped out entirely. The female mage's legs were shaking badly as the black gold tiger's roar echoed. Those bad memories came flooding back, and fear spread all over her body. Unlike the terrified female mage, the other 3 members of the Donut Adventure Squad looked super excited. The Donut Adventure Squad isn't some noob team of new adventurers. Even though the team has very few members, every single one of them is an elite. Even the weakest one, the female mage, has tier 1 strength. She's a powerful superhuman. Black gold tiger hide is super popular among noble circles. If we can peel off a full black gold tiger hide, we can sell it for a high price of several silver coins. The female archer licked her lips, full of energy and drive. The other 2 men also looked extremely greedy. Let's go check it out. If we can capture this black gold tiger alive, we might even sell it for dozens of silver coins. Adventuring is such a high-profit industry. You can earn dozens of coins in one go. Of course, high profits usually come with high risks. The 4 members of the Donut Adventure Squad set off immediately, heading towards the direction of the sound. When they arrived at the scene, all 4 of them were stunned. What they saw wasn't the so-called black gold tiger at all. Instead, it was a creature covered entirely in pitch-black scales, with thick and strong limbs, a long slender tail, 2 wings on its back, and a terrifying and ferocious face. Dragon, that's a dragon! A black dragon. The female mage's eyes went wide with terror, shaking violently. Oh my god, Captain. We're rich. This is actually a baby black dragon. As long as we catch it, we don't need to be adventurers anymore. We'll never worry about food and money for the rest of our lives. The blue warrior swallowed hard and shouted excitedly, "Catch it, we have to catch it. Even if we die trying, we have to catch this baby dragon." Fatty's eyes were blazing with excitement. You guys said everything I wanted to say. What else do you want me to say? The female archer would never let go of the baby black dragon they finally ran into. Everyone get ready for battle. They say baby dragons are super weak, but we can't let our guard down. Look at the corpses on the ground. This guy is definitely way stronger than we thought. It's at least as strong as a tier 3 supernatural creature. As the team leader, the female archer has better perception than the rest of her teammates. When she arrived at the scene, she noticed the corpses on the ground right away. A gutted sheep, 2 very dead jackals, a brown bear, and bones stripped clean of all flesh and blood. None of the 4 people present were stupid. Judging by the black gold tiger's roar earlier, that half-eaten corpse on the ground, that's now nothing but bones. Must be the super strong tier 2 monster, known as the newbie adventurer killer, the black gold tiger. Everyone says baby dragons are super weak, but the 4 members of the Donut Adventure Squad wanted to curse right now. My ass, they're weak. What kind of puny baby dragon can kill a brown bear and a black gold tiger? You come say that to my face. I swear I won't beat you to death. Simon, the human, raised an eyebrow. He looked curiously at the 4 people in front of him. This was his first time seeing humans in this world. They were pretty much what he imagined. Western fantasy-style adventurers. The guy holding a shield and wearing leather armor was obviously the team's tank. Then the woman standing at the very back, wearing a witch hat and holding a wooden staff, was obviously the mage. Then there was the warrior with a long sword at his waist and the archer holding a wooden bow. While you were hunting in the forest, you encountered human adventurers. They are hostile towards you. To protect yourself and keep your identity a secret, please kill these adventurers. Mission reward, but didn't draw a chance. The system issued a mission. Simon glanced at it. He had no intention of completing it. Simon, who was human in his past life, knew exactly how greedy humans could be. Plus, there are tons of humans, and their social networks are super complicated. Kill one group, and another will show up. Simon didn't want to get involved with humans at all. He didn't think twice when he saw the 4 of them. He turned around and ran. He spread his wings and flew up towards the sky. "Don't let him get away," the archer yelled. "Got it." The female mage nodded slightly. She raised her staff high, channeled a huge amount of magic power, and cast gravity magic. Simon, who was flying up to the sky, suddenly felt his wings get extremely heavy. He couldn't flap them at all. He fell to the ground with a thud. If I was a little older, this kind of magic would never work on me, who has red dragon blood. Simon cursed. "Watch this!" The male warrior drew his long sword and charged forward. Simon took a deep breath. His lungs swelled up at a visible speed. The lead archer's pupils shrank. Oh no, he's gonna use his breath attack. "Fatty, get up there now." Fatty nodded, held up his large metal shield and stood at the front. The male warrior didn't dare to be careless and immediately hid behind Fatty. Simon opened his huge bloody mouth and spewed out raging flames. All the flames were blocked by Fatty's shield, but Fatty wasn't doing great either. The metal shield was burned bright red by Simon's flames. The high heat transferred through the shield to Fatty's hands. His hands got burned. "So hot, so hot!" Fatty, who was standing at the front, hurriedly threw the shield on the ground. He shook his hands and blew on them while saying, "I have no intention of fighting you guys. Leave right now, or you'll regret it." Simon took the initiative to speak. The knowledge he inherited from his bloodline included languages, so Simon spoke directly, in human language, to the 4 members of the adventure squad. After just the first round of fighting, Simon realized these humans were pretty strong. The mage at the back could cast gravity magic, which stopped him from flying. Simon's most powerful fire attack right now was completely blocked by Fatty. The warrior hadn't attacked yet, and the archer at the back was also eyeing him menacingly. Simon can still use the fire dragon's roar, but he just fought the black gold tiger and hasn't fully recovered his stamina yet. A huge chunk of flesh was torn off his body, which severely limits Simon's mobility in fights. If they actually start fighting, Simon most likely can't beat these 4 people, so he chickened out. Simon decided to follow his gut and sue for peace with the humans. Screw the system quest. Nothing's more important than my own life. Simon's dragon body shook, releasing a massive wave of powerful dragon might. Any creature with weak willpower would be terrified, but the 4 people in front of him weren't affected at all. If an adult dragon released its dragon might, these 4 would definitely run away scared out of their wits. Too bad Simon's just a baby dragon, trying to use the dragon's aura, aka dragon might, to scare off intelligent enemies is just a stupid pipe dream. It can talk. No wonder it's a legendary creature. That's so incredible. I've lived this long, and I've never seen a non-humanoid creature that can speak human language before. The 4 stared at Simon in shock. Simon's expression turned a little sour. He just finished fighting the black gold tiger, and even though eating the black gold tiger made his body grow to 4.515 meters long, his size increased by over a meter just like that, and his power rose rapidly too. But Simon's stamina still hasn't fully recovered at all. The dragon might did absolutely nothing. His stamina's not recovered, and he can't even fly. I'm totally dead. Judging by your looks, you're not planning to let us go, right? Simon's face stayed completely calm. The 4 didn't answer. That was the best answer they could give. The female archer slowly pulled her bowstring taut. An arrow was nocked and ready, to be fired at any second. Simon spoke again. "We have no grudge against each other. There's no need to fight. You're human adventurers, right?" The 4 still didn't answer. They just silently got into battle stances. The fat guy pulled a spare shield from his back. The warrior gripped his sword hilt with both hands. The mage held her staff high up, magic flowing through it, ready to cast a spell any time. The archer drew her bow all the way back, locking onto her target. Both sides were at extreme odds. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Since you're not saying anything, I'll take that as your silent agreement. Simon coughed twice. Since you're adventurers, the only reason you're catching me to take back is to exchange me for money, right? How about this? I'll cooperate with you. Every day I'll get you a rare magic beast. You can catch those and sell them for money. What do you say? A steady long-term income is way smarter than killing the goose that lays golden eggs. Simon spoke confidently, offering the deal on his own initiative. The leader of the Donut Adventure Squad thought for a second, and seemed to think this was a very workable deal. Being on good terms with a dragon, once this baby dragon grows up, would bring even more. Huge profits later on. I'm pretty interested in your proposal, but why should we trust you? The female archer loosened her grip on the bowstring and looked over at Simon. Simon answered without even thinking. I'm willing to swear on the glory of the dragon race. What a load of crap, dragon glory my ass. My soul is human. I don't care about that stupid stuff at all, Simon complained to himself silently. The female archer was visibly moved right away. I can't believe you're actually willing to swear on the dragon race's glory. That's really admirable. Just as the female archer was about to agree, to cooperate with Simon, the female mage next to her spoke up weakly. Captain, I read in a book before that black dragons are evil dragons. They don't have any morals. Can we really trust what he says? Huh? That can't be right. Dragons are such powerful creatures. They should care about their race's glory, right? The female archer looked a little confused. The female mage spoke again. Evil guys like this usually never keep their word. If he runs away, we'll probably never find him for the rest of our lives. We don't even have anything to sign a contract with. How can we possibly trust him? The female archer, who was originally wavering, gradually got a determined look in her eyes. Yeah, how can you trust what an evil dragon says? Compared to the unreliable long-term income, it's way better to just take the one-time payout and get the tangible benefits we can see right now. She slowly drew her bowstring again, aiming straight at her target. Simon's expression froze immediately, glared fiercely at them. You bitch, I'm gonna kill you for sure. Simon roared angrily. You forced me into this. I didn't want to use this spell at first, 'cause it's way too powerful. Using it would hurt the enemy 1,000, and hurt myself 800 in turn. But now I have no choice but to use it. You guys are dead meat. Simon put on a straining pose. The female archer immediately ordered her subordinates. Everyone watch out and dodge. A dragon's magic is definitely super terrifying. Even a baby dragon is not to be taken lightly. Don't forget, he's the one who killed the black gold tiger. Simon took a deep breath and yelled at the top of his lungs. Armstrong, cyclotron, Jet Armstrong cannon. The four of them were fully armed and completely focused. The fat guy held his shield high up, standing at the very front of the team, ready to block incoming attacks any second. The warrior, archer, and mage lined up in a row and hid behind the fat guy. Just as they were preparing to withstand Simon's super powerful magic, they saw Simon turn around and bolt. Good thing I've been working out a lot these days. Even if I can't fly, I run super fast on 4 legs. Simon took big steps and ran like crazy. This guy actually ran away. The 4 of them were stunned. They all fell for Simon's bluff. Don't let him get away. The female archer shot the arrow on her bow. Whoosh! The arrow sliced through the air and stuck right in Simon's ass. Slow spell. The female mage cast her spell immediately. Simon, who was running far away, suddenly felt his movements become slow and stiff. The fat guy. Use that move. Got it. The fat guy dropped his shield, lifted the warrior high up, then threw him like a shot put. The warrior was launched like a cannonball. The longsword in his hand struck at Simon mercilessly. This warrior had sharp eyes and had already noticed Simon's wound, so he aimed this sword strike right at Simon's injury. There were no scales to protect it, and another chunk of Simon's flesh was cut off. Blood gushed out. Simon screamed in pain, but the warrior blocked his way again. Simon was frustrated and trapped in a desperate situation, but all of a sudden, he calmed down instead. You're all dead for sure, the warrior scoffed. Trying to bluff us again. You're a pretty sneaky dragon, aren't you? Simon ignored the warrior. He raised his head, stretched his neck, and yelled to the sky. Mom! Dragon Mom! They're gonna kill your son. Come save me quick. Simon yelled at the top of his lungs. his heart-wrenching cry echoing to the sky. When the four heard that, their faces instantly turned pale. What else could be called Dragon Mom by a baby dragon? An adult dragon? He's bluffing again. I'll finish you off right now. The warrior snorted coldly and charged at him with his long sword. But the next second, boom, a giant creature fell from the sky and crushed the warrior into paste with one foot. Seeing Dragon Mom make her grand entrance, Simon curled the corners of his mouth into a smile. Good thing I told Dragon Mom to stay close earlier, or I would have died here today for sure. How dare humans come to this forest? Dragon Mother Anna's gaze was icy cold, her gaunt, skull-like face looking fierce and terrifying. In front of a legendary creature, even elite adventurers are completely useless. In just one move, the strongest warrior in the team was killed, without even getting a chance to fight back. Black Dragon, it's an adult Black Dragon. The most cowardly female mage's legs went weak, and she collapsed right onto the ground. At the same time, a warm, stinky smell spread around. Simon, who had a sharp sense of smell, waved his hand in front of his nose. Anna didn't seem to care about it at all. Didn't even frown. It's actually an adult black dragon. Ha ha ha! I can't believe I get to see an adult dragon in my life. I have no regrets even if I die now. The fat guy threw his head back and laughed. His laughter annoyed Anna. It seemed like he wasn't showing respect to a strong being. Anna opened her mouth and spat out a jet of acid breath. That breath shot out really fast. Good thing the fat guy was pretty strong and reacted super quick. The second he saw Anna's acid breath coming, he lifted the shield in his hand right away, but it was useless. The fat guy's shield couldn't stand up to a black dragon's breath at all. It got corroded completely in the blink of an eye. The remaining acid splashed onto the fat guy, eating through his leather armor, flesh and blood all at once. The fat guy rolled all over the ground in agony. He only stopped moving after a few minutes. The female mage and female archer watched this scene and were heartbroken. Their old teammate died right in front of their eyes. But under the black dragon's intimidating aura, they were too scared to move even an inch. Simon stepped forward boldly to take a look and saw that the fat guy's chest had been corroded into a huge hole. Tack! This fat guy was actually pretty capable, super strong, and really responsible too. He always took the front line during battles. If he hadn't blocked my breath, I wouldn't have lost so embarrassingly. Simon sighed with emotion. The fire dragon roar is super powerful. Simon can't use it repeatedly in a short time. If all the earlier breath attacks hadn't been blocked by the fat guy's shield, Simon could have killed at least 1 or 2 people with fire dragon roar, instead of getting beaten up and running away like a stray dog. Are you feeling sorry for him? Anna spoke suddenly. Simon was stunned for a second, turned to look at Anna, and asked back, "Why would you ask that?" Anna answered, "Because you're weird. If you do feel sorry for him, it's not totally ununderstandable." Anna thought about the things Simon did before. Like right after he was born, he even dug a hole to bury his younger brother that he slapped to death, saying it was for resting in peace. Dragons don't have that kind of custom. Plus, evil dragons like black dragons barely have any moral standards. There's no way they'd have much affection for their own Drake younger brothers. On top of that, Simon is obsessed with working out. Normally, as young dragons grow up, they inherit flight-aiding magic from their bloodline, but Simon insisted on learning to fly through training. What shocked Anna even more was that Simon actually did fly without using magic. Anna's explanation for this was, Simon has more red dragon blood in him. Fire breath. His huge size and wings all prove that. Oh right, Simon also grows really fast. Anna carefully observed and found that every time Simon eats, his body grows a little bigger. Right now, they hadn't seen each other for just one afternoon, and Simon already grew a lot bigger. No matter how weird I am, I'd never feel sorry for an enemy. A few black lines popped up on Simon's forehead. Looking totally speechless, Anna nodded slightly, agreeing with what Simon said. Then she opened her mouth, getting ready to kill the remaining 2 people. Right at that moment, Simon stopped Anna. "Wait, Mom Dragon, don't kill these 2. Anna looked confused. The female archer and female mage immediately looked at Simon with grateful eyes. Simon sneered in his heart, a cold glint flashing in his eyes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." The female archer and female mage kept thanking him. If their custom didn't forbid kowtowing, they would have been kowtowing so hard their heads would bang on the ground. Simon stepped forward. Looking down at the 2 women from above, Simon was already over 4 meters tall now. That's basically a giant among beasts. The pressure he gave off when he walked closer was super intense. He looked at the two women and said slowly, "Killing you two would only satisfy my anger a little. There's no profit in it at all." The mage quickly agreed. That's right. My meat doesn't even taste good. Killing me is totally useless for you." Simon continued speaking. "All right then, hand over all the money you have, and you two can get lost." The two women looked at each other and saw surprise in each other's eyes. It was the joy of surviving a disaster and coming back from the dead. No problem at all. Lord Black Dragon, this is all the money I have on me. There's 70 silver coins in total, and 40 copper coins." The female archer pulled a money bag from her waist, handed it to Simon respectfully. "Lord Black Dragon, I'm kinda poor. I only have 10 silver coins." The female mage's coin pouch was totally flat. It was no match for the female archer who was the team captain. The female mage thought for a moment and handed over her magic staff too. "This magic staff, I bought it with 50 silver coins a while ago. It's worth a lot." Simon nodded and took Ernie's coin pouch and her staff. He opened the coin pouch, and coins clattered all onto the ground. Simon looked at these coins and nodded with satisfaction. They aren't gold coins, but as currency, they are still money. Simon said he really liked them. Who doesn't love money anyway? "All right, you two can leave now." Simon waved his hand, motioning for the two to go. "Great, we survived." The two women glanced at Anna cautiously, and when they saw she didn't react, they stood up and supported each other as they left. As they walked, the female archer subconsciously looked back, only to see a huge fiery bloodied maw in front of her. The female archer's pupils shrank sharply and yelled, "You damn beast! You broke your promise?" But the only response she got was scorching hot flames. Once the flame breath ended, the two charred women collapsed to the ground. Simon stepped forward and crushed both women under his foot. "Remember this in your next life. Never trust a single word an evil dragon says. Congratulations. You killed the hostile human adventurers. Mission completion reward. But didn't draw a chance." After Simon crushed the flame-charred two female human adventurers, the system sent a prompt right on time. Simon didn't plan to do this mission at first, but these humans got themselves killed out of greed. If he didn't kill them, Simon would be the one who died. So when he killed these people, Simon felt no guilt at all. That's just the law of the jungle. If Dragon Mom hadn't showed up at the critical moment, Simon would have ended up miserably. Being skinned and drawn would have been the lightest punishment. What Simon feared most was being captured alive by these people and used for experiments, tortured day and night. So these people deserved to die. It's no big deal they're gone. "I thought you would keep your promise and actually let these humans go," Anna said. "Why would I do that? Being merciful to enemies is being cruel to yourself," Simon replied. After saying that, Simon put away the coins he looted from the humans, then spread his wide dragon wings and slowly flew up into the sky. The female mage was dead, so the magic she cast naturally stopped working. After Simon flew up to high altitude, Anna flapped her wings and flew up too. The two dragons flew towards their nest. To take care of Simon, Anna deliberately slowed down her speed. It was obvious that she was a very loving mother. Regardless of being an evil black dragon, because he was injured, Simon flew very slowly, and he wobbled as he flew, as if he could fall at any moment. While they were flying, Simon used the system draw and redeemed his mission reward right away. Draw in progress. Congratulations, you've drawn the skill. Ancient Dragon Lightning Spear. Skill description. The ancient dragons of the royal capital had a little-known prayer magic in their faith. It can summon red lightning strikes from the sky to pierce the ground. After the lightning spear hits the ground, it discharges electricity around. Source: Elden Ring. A stream of special information flooded into Simon's mind. In an instant, Simon understood how to use the ancient dragon lightning. It's as straightforward as always, huh? Because he was injured, even Simon's complaints were weak and lifeless. But it's another attack-type skill. Judging from the skill description, besides direct frontal attacks, it can also attack from the ground. Simon was flying quite slowly. When they got back to the swamp, the moon was already high in the sky. "Simon, mother. You're back." The moment Yulina saw Simon and Anna land, she hurried over to greet them. Only then did she notice a lot of Simon's scales had fallen off. And there was a spot where there was even a deep wound where you could see the bone. There's even an arrow stuck in his ass. He looked like a total mess. Oh my God, Simon. How did you get hurt? Juliana asked. Simon sighed. I had really bad luck. Ran into a few human adventurers. The chunk of flesh that's missing will probably take a while to grow back. Cut the crap, come help your bro. Pull this arrow out of my ass. I can't reach it. And don't cop a feel of my ass while you're at it, okay? Seeing Simon was still in the mood to joke around, Juliana knew he wasn't seriously hurt. Pfft, who's interested in your ass? She stepped forward. Juliana pulled the arrow out of Simon's ass. Just as she was about to crack a joke at him, Juliana froze suddenly. It looked like she noticed something. Her voice went sharp. Simon, how did you get even bigger? You weren't this big at noon. The corner of Simon's mouth curled up. He looked down at Juliana. Hey, Squirt, if you don't grow faster, I'll be able to squish you flat with my ass someday. Name, Simon, rank, tier 2, body size, 4.55 meters, skill, feast. Fire dragon's roar, ancient dragon lightning spear. Simon opened his stat panel and took a look, as his body size grew. Plus, he mastered the ancient dragon lightning spear system. Simon's power was already assessed as tier 2. After eating the black gold tiger, Simon's body size grew by over a meter. But Juliana barely grew at all, as a dragon hatchling only 2 days old. Even with red dragon bloodline, Juliana's current body size is only just barely hitting the 2-meter mark. Actually, Juliana's growth rate is already super fast. Red dragons have large builds, so Juliana, with her red dragon bloodline, when it comes to body size, is definitely bigger than pure-blood black dragons of the same age. Too bad she's up against Simon. Right now, Simon is already twice Juliana's size. According to the system's power ranking, Juliana probably doesn't even have tier 1 power yet. I'll grow up really fast, just you wait. Juliana gritted her teeth in anger. I'm tired, I'm gonna go sleep first. Wake me up tomorrow if anything comes up. Simon yawned. He found an empty spot and tossed his money pouch aside. Maybe because he was totally worn out from the day. Simon started snoring as soon as he laid down. Mom, Simon, what happened to brother Simon in the forest? Juliana asked their dragon mother Anna curiously. Anna answered, just like Simon said, he ran into a few human adventurers. If it weren't for me, he would have died for sure. What, that bad? Juliana is just a baby dragon after all. When she heard Simon almost died, she couldn't help but get a huge shock. Anna nodded. She looked at Simon, who was fast asleep, a soft look unconsciously appearing in her eyes. Simon's power is pretty good. Surviving that long against those human adventurers is really not easy. Anna acknowledged Simon's strength. Back when Anna was only 2 days old, she was just like Juliana, waiting to be fed under her own dragon mother's protection. But Simon can already fight back and forth with human adventurers. Juliana has no idea how powerful human adventurers are. She only saw that Simon was badly hurt. So she felt a little scared. Humans fear dragons, and dragons are also afraid of humans in turn. Juliana, before you grow up, you can't leave the nest whenever you want, got it? Anna warned her. She was scared Juliana would also run into danger. Juliana nodded in agreement. Then what about my hunting? I'll take care of it, okay? Juliana nodded obediently at her mother. Then she turned and walked over to Simon's side. Wow, Simon is sleeping. So deeply. I was planning to return the gold coins to him. Wait, what's in this little pouch anyway? Juliana picked up the gold coins on the ground with a grin. Per their agreement, Simon only lent the gold coins to Juliana for the afternoon. When they came back at night, the gold coins should be returned to Simon. But this way, I can keep the gold coins for the whole night. Woohoo. Juliana stared at the gold coins in her hand over the moon. Then, driven by curiosity, Juliana opened Simon's little pouch. Looking at the pile of coins inside the pouch, Juliana screamed at the top of her lungs. Simon, you bastard! How did you get money again? We're both dragonettes. Why's that? Simon got a gold coin from Mom, and he also got all these silver and copper coins. But me, Julina, I've got nothing at all. This is so unfair, I can't accept it. As a money-obsessed dragon, Julina yelled up at the sky and swore that when she grows up, she's gonna make loads and loads of money and fill an entire cave with gold, silver, and jewels. Simon has no idea about Julina's vow. He's sleeping like a log. He's not even dreaming. When Simon opened his eyes again, it was already bright out. Did I sleep till noon again? Simon stood up and found his whole body was stiff. So just like a cat, he kept his hind legs still, arched his body and lifted his back. spread his wings as wide as possible, and stretched big. What are you talking about? You slept for 3 whole days. Didn't you notice your wounds are almost all healed? Yulina walked over. He took a closer look and noticed Yulina seemed to have grown a lot. 3 days? Simon was shocked. He turned his head to look and saw the wounds on his body were indeed almost fully healed. Dragonettes have super fast healing abilities. The flesh that was cut off has almost grown back completely. You can still see some thin, delicate scales on the new skin. Simon opened his system panel and took a look, and found his body length had increased to 4.7 meters. This wasn't from the feast ability. It was just natural growth. Simon finally realized he had slept for a really long time this time. But Yulina thought it was no big deal that Simon slept for 3 days. After all, when adult dragons sleep, they often sleep for several days, sometimes even several years. Gurgle, gurgle, his stomach growled. Got any food? Simon asked. Got any food? Simon asked. After sleeping for 3 days, Simon felt super hungry as soon as he woke up. Of course we do. Since you got hurt by those human adventurers, Mom wouldn't let me go hunting these days. She caught all the food herself. I can't finish it all by myself. There's a lot left. As Yulina spoke, she brought over a piece of rotting meat. For black dragons who love rotten meat, food that's left to rot and stink here is exactly what black dragons love. But Simon has a human soul. He found this food totally impossible to eat, even though a black dragon's taste buds when eating this food would send signals that it's super tasty. Simon still didn't want to eat it. This piece of rotting meat. What's wrong? Hurry up and eat. I purposely left this piece of meat in the swamp to rot for a whole day and night. It's super delicious. Yulina urged him. Simon's face fell. He hated the idea in his heart, but his stomach kept growling nonstop. He had no choice. Simon opened his huge bloody maw and swallowed the whole piece of rotting meat in one bite. Devoured one piece of rotting meat. Body length increased by 0.01 meters. See? It's delicious, right? Yulina said proudly. I saved this piece of meat especially for you. Yulina lifted her chin slightly, with an expression that screamed, praise me. Come on, praise me already. Simon had a weird look on his face. He had to admit, the rotting meat was perfectly suited to a black dragon's taste. But when he swallowed it, Simon felt super repulsed in his heart. This contradiction was driving Simon crazy. It's tasty, the flavor is really not bad. Simon took a deep breath and forced a smile at Yulina. If you like it, there's more. Mom caught loads of food. She corroded it all with her acid and buried it in the ground. You're gonna love it for sure. As Yulina spoke, she dug up several more pieces of meat from the dirt. She generously brought them all over to Simon, which made Simon very confused. But he had just woken up from a 3-day sleep. Simon's head was still a bit foggy. For a moment, he couldn't figure out why Yulina was acting like this. Evil dragons don't care much about their blood siblings. Simon wasn't narcissistic enough to think his charisma had won Yulina over. That's why she was enthusiastically giving him food. Nobody is nice for no reason. They must want something from you. Spit it out. What do you need from me? Simon got straight to the point. He didn't rush to eat. He already had a piece of rotten meat earlier, so his stomach isn't growling anymore. Juliana grinned cheekily. Simon, that gold coin you had before, plus all the silver and copper coins. I haven't given them back to you these days. I definitely didn't keep them because I was being playful. It's because you were still asleep. I couldn't wake you up. Simon rolled his eyes. Juliana's words were basically a full confession. I only agreed to let you hang out with me for half a day. It's already been 3 whole days. You should give my gold coin back now. And where are all the silver and copper coins? I almost died earning all that money, you know? Juliana heard that, and her face instantly went stiff. She stammered and couldn't get a single word out. Don't tell me you lost my money. Simon's expression changed drastically. Juliana gave a quiet little hum of confirmation. Simon flew into a rage. That gold coin was a reward from Mother Dragon Anna. The silver and copper coins were all loot he took from humans. Rage bubbled up in his chest. Simon wanted nothing more than to beat Juliana up bad. And that's exactly what he did. Sure, Simon had just woken up and hadn't fully regained his strength yet. But with his size advantage, teaching a 5-day-old baby dragon a lesson was totally no problem for him. Juliana turned and ran right away, but Simon grabbed her by the tail and slowly dragged her back to him. Simon pinned Juliana under him. He raised his fist and punched her over and over again. He beat Juliana's face black and blue. A black dragon came flying from the sky. Its huge shadow covered the two baby dragons. It was Mother Dragon Anna, who just returned from hunting. She looked at the two tussling little dragons, or rather, at Simon beating Juliana up completely one-sidedly. She suddenly felt a massive headache. These two little brats are way too naughty. Can't they just stay in the nest? Eat, then sleep then eat, and grow for half a year. Wouldn't it be nice to leave the nest once they're big enough? Why do they have to cause trouble all the time? What's going on here? Anna reached out and stopped Simon's violent behavior. Simon snorted coldly. He glared at Juliana. She lost my money. Mark my words, Juliana. You owe me 1 gold coin, 80 silver coins, and 10 copper coins. All of this is the loot Simon got from the humans. Oh right, there's also a staff Simon doesn't need. But this staff is pretty much useless. Juliana didn't care for it at all. It was just sitting on the ground off to the side. So it didn't get lost? The reason it wasn't lost was because Juliana didn't want it. Simon figured that out that same night. After the farce ended, Simon didn't go out hunting again. Instead, he felt totally justified, enjoying the prey Mother Dragon Anna had caught. Simon lazed around all day with nothing to do. Maybe it was because he slept for too long. Simon couldn't fall asleep at all that night. He just lay there pretending to sleep. Night fell over the entire world, painting the land pitch black. But that didn't affect a dragon's eyesight at all. Simon suddenly noticed that Juliana snuck up in the middle of the night. Hey, Simon? Wake up! Simon was still mad at Juliana for losing his money, so he ignored her. Juliana called a few more times and saw that she couldn't wake him up. A grin spread across Juliana's face. She snuck quietly away from the nest and started digging in a hidden spot. As she dug up the dirt, lots of coins buried underneath were revealed. Heh, even though I got beaten up, I got so much money now. Dragons are naturally greedy for treasure. There's barely any dragon in this world that doesn't love treasure. So when Juliana saw Simon's coins, she immediately got a sneaky idea. Plus, Simon was asleep for 3 whole days. Juliana had been feeling conflicted before, but she quickly made up her mind to take them. Heh, even though I got beaten up, I got so much money now. Juliana dug away the dirt, revealing the piles of coins buried under the ground. The one on top was reflecting the moonlight. It was that shiny gold coin. It was super eye-catching. Ah, it's the gold coin. Juliana lay on the ground, reached out and picked up the gold coin, held it up to her nose, and took a deep sniff of it. The gold coin smelled like dirt and metal. That smell was just so satisfying. Just then, suddenly there was a weird, unexpected noise from behind. Oh, really? The smell of gold coins is actually pretty nice, huh? Juliana's face instantly went stiff. Her head felt like a rusty gear and turned around jerkily bit by bit. The first thing right in front of her was a black dragon nearly 5 meters in size, walking towards her. It can't be Simon? Brother, let me make up a dumb excuse first. Wait, no, let me spout some nonsense. Wait, that's not right either. Let me explain properly. Juliana was rambling incoherently, looking like she was about to cry but had no tears left. Simon walked over slowly and calmly and pressed his huge head right in front of Juliana. A deep, gruff voice sounded. Sure thing, my dear little sister. I've really been wanting to know where you got that gold coin in your hand. Juliana was shaking like a leaf.